Have you ever wondered how a real website is made? Since most of the time we are usually stuck up with tutorials that only take you to a small and concise part of a website, and that is usually a pre planned short demo content only. When you actually go building a real website, there are a lot of challenges that are generally not shown in these tutorials. Hence, what if I actually show you guys how a real website is made, ground up, and what challenges are usually faced while doing the same? And it is going to be a multi-part tutorial. So stay tuned and subscribe for new videos in this series as well as other content on this channel. So today, first thing first, I am taking you through a website of a music producer duo known as Noise Ninjas who create wonderful EDM music. I have already created a landing page for them, and right now I will take you through what's already been done in the same, and in the following tutorials we will jump into more. So let's go through it. Okay, let me take you to their website, noiseninjas.com. And as you can see in this website, there is a background video playing. That is one of the most important requirement of the client. And it's only a landing page. There is no other pages developed in this, which we will be building in the future videos. And there is few social buttons, there Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify, Apple Music. And then there is a simple button alone in the baseline, which was one of their songs, and there's a stream now button, and now we have to update this website with a lot of the things as well. Let me jump with what has already been done in the website and how the website is actually built. So the first thing is very important here. Okay, so I've opened the project right now in front of me, and this project is actually open on WebStorm. I love WebStorm. I love WebStorm. WebStorm is a very good IDE. I live with more than VS-Storm, so it is a controversial opinion. My preference is WebStorm. I have been using it, like I'm using the IntelliJ IDE first with Androids, and now I have jumped to WebStorm when I started developing web-based applications. So yeah, it's always been a very handy tool for me, and I never wanted to jump to VS Code, although it is paid, but still I love it. Anyways, so this is the base folder of the Noise Ninja website, and this is built on Nuxt. Nuxt. Let me take you through what is Nuxt first. Uh, mm, Sorry, Nuxt. Okay, so the Nuxt is basically a Vue.js framework. And for people who actually don't know what is Vue.js as well, so let me open this. Vue.js. Vue.js is basically a JavaScript framework. If you have heard of Angular or you have heard of React, so Vue.js is similar to those. And I love Vue.js because it is made by a single developer. The one thing that it is not controlled by a huge corporation like React or Angular. It is made by Ivan Vue, and now he has a team who actually builds and work on a lot of these things. But it's still owned by a person who actually believes in the project and is doing a lot of good things. So yeah, I love Vue, but yeah, it is again opinions of every single person what they want to use. Some want to use Angular, some want to use React, which is all fine. Uh, but yeah, in the tutorials and most of my future tutorials as well are going to be based on Vue.js only. And I don't really use React often. I have worked with it, but quite less. So, okay, so we are building, so we have created a website with Vue.js. And what Nuxt does is that Nuxt provides you framework for Vue.js. And with this framework, we have lot of essential things. We have modules, and there are other things like the components are easily handled. Like we have routes, we have views, we have uh, plugins, we have middlewares, and there are a lot of other things which actually makes things quite easy for us. Like even in here, you can see there is a use SEO meta. So it makes things quite simple, and there are a lot of repetitive tasks involved that Nuxt make it simple for us. And some of you have also heard of Next, NEXT, Next.js. Next.js is basically the same thing for React.js. Like Nuxt is for Vue, Next is for React. So yeah, earlier I used to build on vanilla Vue.js only, but now I have switched completely to Nuxt.js. I like how Nuxt.js works because you have a lot of things that are already handled, and you can do server-side rendering, you have to do client-side rendering, and other things as well available to it. Most of the websites that I have built till now are client-side rendered. I have not worked with server-side rendered till now, but in future I will, of course. Okay, so let me get back to the website. So web code. And okay, so if I go through, the first thing is that package JSON. And in the package JSON, there is a, since I started with the Nuxt, like when I get started, there's a simple npm create Nuxt to get started, and it has built most of the directory structure as well as the package JSON. You can also use Bun.js. So for people who actually don't know what is Bun.js, so Bun.js is actually a very good JavaScript runtime framework, just like Node. So the npm or the Node.js is a JavaScript runtime framework. Okay, it helps us in both client side as well as server side. And similarly, the Bun is also one of the framework that is also both, we can use it for both client side and server side things. And right now Bun is very popular because of it is built ground up in a new language, and it does all the things super fast. So yeah, Bun is a great framework, and usually people are jumping on it quite a lot. And so yeah, most of the projects even these days what I'm doing are built from Bun only, not npm. And okay, so let me jump back into the project. So I have started with Bun, and Bun has created most of the things. If you even see here, there is a Bun log file. When you work via Node.js, there is an npm log file, or with Yarn, there is a Yarn log file. With Bun, there is a Bun log file, similarly. And as you can see in this packages, there's a simple script and all that, preview, post preview, all these are generated while when we initialize our project. And there are a few dependencies. These dependencies are the most important dependency I have used here is the Tailwind CSS. Let me tell you what is Tailwind CSS first. And Tailwind is actually a very good CSS uh, framework, and this framework helps you very easily write things in CSS. So basically, it transpiles into CSS, but Tailwind helps you to write code and make things super simple for you. And even in this video that is playing here, you can see that if I have to center the item, or I have to change the text color, or I have to change the size, or I have to add the cap, it is very simple. It's easier to write, easier to work with. And yes, there are few drawbacks that sometimes the classes become super large, but even after that, I believe the pros of Tailwind CSS usually outweigh the cons. And yeah, it is like one of the mostly used libraries out there, especially for the CSS part, because CSS in itself is actually very complicated, and Tailwind helps us to make it less complicated and very user friendly to build code. Okay, and then there is the Nuxt itself, view and view router. Okay, view router is basically when we routing to different pages, since this is going to be a single page application. So what single page application means, there is only going to be one page, and then there is going to be internal routing. So if I, for example, I want to like slash about or slash anything else, so all these routing handling is going to be handled via view router. And currently in this, since we have only one page, that doesn't matter. But yeah, we still need that view router itself. And then there is a readme, which is auto generated. There's a tsconfig file, again auto generated. We don't need it. Uh, let's start with the app.view file. This is the most important file. And once again, guys, when you create a new project, let me take you to the next. So when you create a new project, if you're very new to the Vue.js framework, I wouldn't suggest you go to the Bun part. I will suggest you stick with npm, since most of the commands and everything like that is going to be super simpler for you if you follow npm. There is nothing complicated in Bun, don't get me wrong. Even you just have to substitute all these like npm with Bun, or npm x with bunx. So yeah, most of the things are all sorted with bunx. If you want to switch to bunx, best thing ever. If you don't want to, let's stick with npm, because everything else is quite same only. So there's no other thing. So once again, when you created this project, most of the directory structure is already in place for you. And this app.view file, again, this in the root of this directory is already ready for you. But it doesn't contain this Nux page. I have added this Nux page. This is helpful for the routing part, and this is a single page, and then it contains multiple pages. So if you see the directory structure, there is a pages directory. Pages directory simply contains an index.vue.js file. So basically, what is the root file? Slash. When we visit this website, noiseninjas.com, this is the first page that is going to open. If I have to create multiple, then like I have to create a about page, so I can also do a simple like about.view and other things like that. It can create multiple, and I can create directory structure with it as well. So the app.view file is quite simpler here, and let me jump you directly to pages. Okay, let's take it one step at a time, and let's start with what I have script part. Let's avoid the script part for now. Let's start with the this div. Okay, so this is the outer div currently for us. I don't know why I've added this blank div. Let's keep it in place right now. I will delete it later on. And then there is I have added few things. So there is a background, there is then content, and then there is going to be an app bar. App bar for desktop and mobile I have added differently. Currently, this is a very simple website. I have not created a lot of directory structure. I have not created lots of components for it. I have made it quite simple. I will introduce ShadCN into this. With ShadCN, I will create more directory structure. I will take this app bar and move it to the layouts. I will even create a layout for the whole project, and there is a lot of other things that is going to come up. But currently, it is very simple. Okay, so I will take you one step at a time. So if you see that we have most of the things like background, content, and this app bar all absolute. Why? Because they are laid on top of each other. Okay, so the background, the first thing is the background. The background is at the bottom, and that background is nothing but it is going to be our video. Okay, as you can see, this is our video, and after the background, on top of the background, we want another layer, and that layer is going to be a simple translucent black background. So we can see the video, but it's going to be a little bit black, and the reason for that is that we want our content to pop up. If I remove that, the content is not going to look good, right? So it's a reason for this. And then there is going to be a content. Again, after content, there is going to be an app bar, and what for desktop and mobile, both are going to be different. Okay, let's take you through the background part first. The background is going to be Edge screen. Once again, these Edge screen, W screen, all these classes are from Tailwind. Tailwind helps you sort these things super easy. Like I want to, what here I am doing is that I want the height to be exactly matching the screen. I want the width to be exactly matching the screen. So the Tailwind gives us such a good utility classes like Edge screen, W screen. So it makes our job super simpler. Yes, I can do the same with CSS, but with CSS, it is it is going to work. Of course, it's going to work, but it's going to be a little bit more complicated. It's going to be a little bit more effort. I have to think about all those classes and all that. Here, it's very simpler. I know at the top of my mind, okay, it's Edge screen, W screen, and all that. Okay, so once I go through this inside this background, so I have covered the whole screen. So with Edge screen, W screen, I have covered the whole screen. Once I've done that, I take off the video. So this is the video that I wanted. I have added the autoplay. Video is a default component in I think in HTML itself, and with that I have added. Don't correct me. I don't think so. It's a part of Vue.js. It's part of HTML. I'm quite sure on that. Yeah, it is an HTML. Okay. So and I have autoplayed because I want the video to automatically play when it first started. Then I wanted the video to be muted because the content that I got has some music in it. Yes, I could have removed that music, and I think I had. I'm not quite sure, but again, I have muted it just in case. And then what I want is that I wanted to start it on loop. Okay, so if we talk about the classes in this, then there is going to be, I don't know why I've added absolute. I don't need absolute in this since I'm covering both the full width and the full height here. Again, the full width and full height is going to be the whole screen itself, because the parent div itself is going to be width screen and height screen itself, right? So if I do full, means I'm stretching it completely. And there is an insert 0. I don't know. There is no need for insert 0. Insert 0 is basically used to position the element. Like 0 is like it's going to start from here. So I'm not sure why I've added both these things. But anyhow, so there is going to be width full, height full, and then object is going to be covered. So why object cover? So if you see that there is a video, like a video is like this much in size, and if I want to stretch it on a very, like there is a square video, and a square video I have to use it on a landscape monitor. So what happens is that either it is going to be cropped from the sides, or if it's not going to be cropped from the side, then if I fit it or I want to stretch it properly without cutting it or without overstretching it, then we use object cover. Object cover is going to crop it beautifully using the width and height of the screen. So it looks good. It is going to miss some of the content up and down, but again, it's going to look better on the screen than rather than filling it, or by filling it, we are going to stretching. But if we are going to use fit means it is going to fit, but then we are going to see black borders on the sides, which doesn't look good. And then there is going to be a source video. So in the source video, it's like @ the rate is going to contain the @ the rate means the root directory. So the root directory is Noise Ranger. In the root directory, I'm going for the assets folder. In the assets folder, I'm going to the video folder here, and I have already this video hero 1080.mp4 here. Okay. Now, currently I have only one video and it's 10 MB of, yes, it's a very large size and it's going to make the page slower. But in subsequent iteration of this websites, we are going to make sure that this doesn't happen. We are going to make multiple resolutions on the videos, so that depending on the screen or depending on the device that it's being viewed on, it's going to look good. Yeah, we are going to do that in future. Once again, this website is quite basic from the startup. So yeah, most of the things here is just to get started with. And once this is started, now it's going to be the part where this website is going to be better. Okay. And this is a basic content, like if the browser doesn't support video tag, which is not going to happen today's century. Okay, anyway, so after background, this is the content, this is the overlaying layer. I will show you this, the overlaying layer. This is the black layer that is shown on top. And so this black layer has, again, I'm stretching screen height and width and absolute. Why? Because I have to absolutely place it on the top of the background relative to the parent. And this is a utility class again. All of these are utility class basically from Tailwind, and this is a very beautiful utility class by Tailwind. So what it does is that by BG, I'm setting the background of this div as black, and then by /70, I means I'm setting the opacity as 70%. So it is so simpler to like set opacity. Like I can do any other color. Like currently it's black. I can do like gray, or I can do like green, or any color I can do, and then I set the opacity like 20 or 30. I can do everything and it's become super simple to handle. And that's where Tailwind shines too much. Okay, and okay, so we have done with background, we have done with the overlaying layer, the black layer. Then comes the content. So with the content, once again, there is an absolute. It's going to be layered on top of background and then the underlying layer. After that, I'm going to add a flex. By flex, basically, flex is a CSS class, and by flex, I'm saying that okay, the items are going to be placed horizontally. I have to add another class known as flex row, but flex usually do the job for us. So no worries on this. And then again, we have stretch it completely, height screen, width screen. So then there is this justify center and item center. Now what justify is done as, since this is a horizontal line, with flex I'm going to doing the horizontal. So with justify center, what happens is that since my width is screen, So whatever I'm going to add in this is going to be centered horizontally. Okay. And with item center, since the height is screen, anything I'm going to add is going to be centered vertically. So in this very simple way, we have basically centered the content on the screen. Justify cent horizontally going to center it, item center vertically going to center it. So in short, we have centered the content. This is the content and we have centered it, right? Again, this is a top bar. So don't confuse it for now. This is the center content. And in this content, you can see there are three things: out now, then there is an image, then there is a button. So this is going to be hero out now. And this is a different component. Let me take you through that component. It's inside this components, hero out now. And so it is going to be now. This is going to be a flex column. I also should have added a flex on this, but no worries. Flex call does the job well only. So with the flex call, I have justified the content as center. So again, the content, everything is going to be centered, right? It's since this is a vertical, flex row is going to be horizontal, flex column is going to be vertical. And now justify is going to be just justifying it centered vertically. Okay, and then comes the next class. So first thing is the out now. Out now is a very simple thing. It's a simple text out now. What I have done is that I have bolded the font. I have added a white color. I have made it of 4XL size. So these sizes are predefined and we can do custom sizes, but that's for another video. And like I can do 2XL, I can do like only XL, I can do small. So there are varieties available for us. Then justify cell center. I want this out now to be centered itself. And then there's Webasto New Regular. So this is a font here. And this is a font I am using. Okay, once this is done, the next part we have is this image itself. With this image, first I want there is a border. As you can see, there is a white border, and inside that white border we have the image. Firstly, I have added a margin top of 8. I want it to be like 8 places less. And all these things like 8 and all that, these are predefined by Tailwind. You can study more about like how many pixels are these or how many REMs or EMs are these. You can study it on Tail. So these are predefined things. You can practice on it. You can play with it and see what works for you. Okay, so I have added 8 places margin top. Then I've added a thickness of 2 border. Now, since we have to make it a little bit responsive, of course, not a little bit, we have to make it completely responsive. Either it's going to be mobile, it's going to be tablet, it's going to be a small laptop, or it's going to be desktop. We have to make sure for every size it's going to work perfectly. So with Tailwind, we have these things like we can do SM, LG and all that. So let me show you guys that. I have already opened it, this responsive design part. And with responsive device, what we can do is that there are different breakpoints for every devices. There is a small, medium, large, XL, 2XL. These are by default that are done by the Tailwind. We can make things according to us. We can change the sizes, like the breakpoint sizes according to us as well. There is going to be, if you read this documentation, you will understand how we can do that. But I have just stick with these and it works good for me. So with different devices, we can work out differently. So right now what I've done is that with LG size, what happens is that all the screens that are large and above, large XL or 2XL, all these things are going to contain a size of 64. So this image size is going to be 64 for all the screen that are large or bigger than large, XL or 2XL. For all the standard ones, the size is going to be 56. So the standard is going to be, if we again look at that, so it's going to be medium and it's going to be small. So small and medium are going to have a default size of 56, whereas large and above are going to have a size of 64. Now understand, with Tailwind, what we can do is that we can always specify this size, like this size and above, all are going to be this, okay? And this is always going to be the default size. So if you have to build a responsive site, remember that we are building considering mobile first and then moving on to the desktop part. So hence this mobile first is size 56, and then we have specifically mentioned that for the large size it's going to be size 64. Okay, moving on. Then I have added a border of white. The border is of white color. Now this is a 2, so border of thickness 2, and this is a border of white color. And after that I have rounded the border for 2XL. 2XL is again predefined sizes, the Tailwind. There are other sizes as well. And okay, and if let's see, so I have cornered this beautifully. Yeah, of course, rounded corners look good. You can again, as per your site, you can do less, you can do more, whatever suits you. And then again, justify cell center, like okay, it's going to be centered. I'm justifying it. I'm not sure. I have added this justify center on top, and then I'm doing justify cell center again. Maybe for some reason this top was not working. I'm not quite sure. I have done it twice, but yeah, let's work through it at this moment. And inside this div, then there is our image proper, and this image is in our asset images folder. There I have not added any alternate text in case the image is not loaded, but again it can be changed, and it has the same rounded 2XL as that of its parent. Once this is done, our third thing is like out now. This is image, and there is a button, stream now, and this button is going to be justify cell center. So once again, that justifies cell center part. Then I have added a top margin of 8 pixels. And if I look at the button, there are other things like I have rounded it to 3XL. And then there is a PX. PX here is basically padding X. So inside the button, how much is the X? X means horizontal, Y means vertical. Inside, how much padding is available? X. So when I do X, it's going to be both left side and right side. If I have to only specify left side, I have to do PL. If I only have to do right side, I have to do PR. PR and PL, like that. Okay. So PX means it's going to be taking from both left and right side. Both of them are going to be 12 units. And again, Y is Y, or the vertical axis, I'm going to have taken top and bottom as 3. Now, I wanted to add a gradient here, and this gradient, as you can see, it is from to right. So it is starting from left and going to right. So I have added this gradient. Again, these Tailwind classes are very good. It makes a job very easy. So this is going from left to right. The background gradient is going from left to right. And how it started? It started from an orange color, and it's going to a yellow color. So these are different shades. Again, you can check it on the Tailwind websites how these different shadings are and work out according to you. So I have added an orange 400 to yellow 300, and this is the background. I want all the text inside to be black color, and I want the text of size XL. Once that is done, there is a link, a href, that's a basic HTML tag, like whenever you click the button where it's going to take. Of course, I can add the add click here, and there are other ways to do that, but this is a simpler one. With a href, I have specified the link for them, so where it's going to go. And then the most important part, if you see, this is a Spotify button and the text of stream now. And since this is horizontal, I have added the flex this and item center. So vertically, the items, both of things are going to be vertically centered. If not, what happens is that the stream now is going to be lying here on top, and it's not going to look good. And then there is an image, again a very simple image. Again, it's an SVG image. I could have done it via SVG Go or other utility libraries for proper handling the SVGs, but this thing works quite well. I think image works quite well for me here, and I have switched to it. Now there is going to be 2 different sizes. For smaller and medium devices, the size is 8. For larger, the size is 8. I think only size 8 can work. I don't know why I've done that. Anyways, let me revert it for now. I will change or make all these changes later on. And then margin right of 3. So image, so this Spotify image going to have a 3 margin towards the right. So of course, this stream button we have stream now text we have to add it. and then there is a stream.txt, as simple as that. So this is the hero part, this is the center content. What we are left with is this app bar. So if we go back again, so let's take the app bar of the desktop. By default, it's hidden. As I've told you, every class by default goes from mobile to up. So right now in the mobile part, I have added as hidden, but when the size changes to large, it's going to be a block. That means it's going to show. So it's hidden by default. For desktop, it's going to show. But if there is going to be mobile, then this is going to be not shown, since by default it's hidden. Then again, it's absolute, as we have previously discussed. I want to cover it the entire width. I want the left side padding to be 16. I want the top padding to be 4, and I want all the content inside to be white. Okay, as you can see, there are 3 things. There is a logo, there is a blank space, and there are social media buttons. Right. So the first thing is the image. I have added the image. I have given it by default size of 48 and large and above size of 32. Again, it's not necessary because by default we are only showing it for size 30 for larger screens only. I sometimes even I have considered why I do things, but okay, flow of the moment. Anyways, so I can only mention the size 48 or here only. I will make that change later on. And then there is a flex scroll. What flex scroll is that? It will fill all the remaining space. Hence, it started from here. Flex, again, flex is going to be horizontal. So it started from here. The next thing is a div, which is taking all the available space that is there. And after that, there is going to be our different icons. So flex scroll makes the job simpler. And these are different app bar icons. So again, there is a component for it. And all these icons are nothing. There is a very simple, all these items are going to be vertically centered, and there is a flex, since they are going to be horizontally laid after one after the other. And nothing new. There is only their images, and there is a href tag, a href that takes you, when you click it, it takes you to that website. As simple as that. And our desktop part is over here. If we take this app bar to the mobile, so if you can see that this is by default, it's going to be shown. Okay, there is nothing to not show it, to make it hidden. But in large screens, I don't want this app bar to show. Hence, for large and above, it's going to be hidden here. And then there is going to be width of screen. It's going to take entire screen, even for mobile, and text is white, as similar to that. And then what I've done is that, let me show you the mobile variant, so it would be quite easier for you to understand. So this is the mobile variant, right? And this is in the mobile variant. You can see this app bar is quite different. In this app bar, we can see this is the logo, and after the logo, we have all these icons. So this is vertically. In the large type, it was horizontally, but in this, it's vertically, right? So if you see that, what I've done is that I don't need this flex here. I don't know why I've added that. So this is the main div, and in this div, the first div, I think I have added flex so that I could justify the content at center as well as align them center. So yeah, that was the main reason. So I can justify it center, justify horizontally, I could justify it in the center, and then vertically I want it to be centered in that frame. Now don't confuse it by saying that if item center, that means going to be the center here. No, it's not going to be. It is going to be center of its parent, right? Now, in this parent, it's only the width screen, not height screen. If I have given it height screen, then it's going to be the center here. But since I have not given height, it's only going to take as much height it's needed. As simple as that. So now, since it's going to be centered, since it's going to be vertical, sorry. So we have added a flex column, and the first thing is our image, and after that there is going to be app bar icons, and then there is going to be hero out now. Oh yeah, I have forgot to mention this hero out now here. I have shown this hero. This hero thing is nothing like this was the hero, the out now, the image and the button. And as you can see, we already had that on top. So why we are duplicating it? Because in this I have already hidden it, right? So I have hidden it for mobile, and for large screen I am just showing it. So yeah, by default, it's going to be hidden for the mobile, and in the mobile part, I am adding it vertically with the flex call here. So this is all. That is, this website is already ready. This website is already out, and it works flawlessly without any issues. But now our job is to make it even better. We have to add multiple pages to it. The first thing is to add multiple pages to it. Once we done that, we have to improve its SEO. We have to improve its ranking. We have to do a lot of things. So in the coming videos, you will see me doing all those things, improving this website, adding more things, and yeah, let's go from there. So thank you for tuning in today. Please like and please subscribe to my channel. This is the first video and this is not going to be the last. There's going to be lots of good content. So thanks once again.